competition at P&J Live in Aberdeen, Scotland for the 2025 Rogue Invitational. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland alongside former Affiliate Cup champion Adrian Conway, and Kiki Dixon is down there patrolling the competition floor. We'll hear from her in just a little bit. Event 7 is going to be one of the longer events of this competition. It's Granite City, presented by Mod Tub.
Yeah, I hope they brought their running shoes, Sean. A lot of athletes been waiting all weekend to put them on, and they are going to travel a good distance. They're going to run 1,300 meters, 3 rope climbs up and down to the top of the rig, 50-foot feed sack lunge. They're going to put it across their back, lunge 25 out and 25 back. It'll be 3 rounds of this, and they're going to sandwich this thing with another 1,300-meter run to finish with a 35-minute time cap.
What are the keys to this event?
The keys here are going to be for them to focus on the running. Runners run, Sean, and this is an opportunity for them. A lot of them have been chomping at the bit. Historically, we've started the Rogue Invitational with a long run, and now they finally get their chance. And clamp and fall is in relation to the rope. The time that they spend there doing those 3 ascends and descends is going to matter. They've got to be fast on the way up and down.
The run course is going to be inside P&J Live, and it's going to consist of 2 laps. This is a bird's eye view of the facility here. They're going to go at the start, out. They're actually going to go through Vendor Village. That should be cool. They come back, and that's going to be a 650-meter loop. They'll run that twice for that 1,300-meter run. And in case you're wondering, they thought about doing this outside, but Aberdeen is on the same latitude as Juneau, Alaska. So it's a little chilly outside. It's also a little slick.
Yep. And it's one of those things where it could be nice one moment within a 10-minute window and then completely be different for the next heat or the next couple heats.
Your lane assignments for this opening heat. And we're underway. We start with a 1,300-meter run.
And Sean, I'll tell you what, to kick this thing off, man, we've got some runners in this heat. We know that Haley Adams loves a good running event with some tremendous finishes there in that past here at the Rogue Invitational for her. They're leading the pack with Abby Domit, Gracie Walton.
Haley Adams has not had the competition I think she wanted. She comes in 20th place overall. Her best finish was 13th in event 2. So she wants to start moving up the leaderboard. This is an event where she has to score some points as Abby Domit moves ahead of Haley Adams. Grace Walton settling in behind Haley.
And each one of these runs these athletes are going on, Sean, is going to be 1,300 meters in total, but they'll do each lap twice, so approximately 650 meters each time that they take a lap.
Ahead into Vendor Village.
The athletes did get a chance to take this walk and, of course, get familiar with the course, so certainly something that they got to experience and knew exactly where they'd be running. You know, from an experience perspective, when you're an athlete competing in unfamiliar territory, it's really important to understand the course in itself. Where do you have an opportunity to make a move? Where is it going to be too late? Where perhaps is it too soon to sell your soul to the stimulus of the run? A lot of these athletes, I'm sure, made those key choices before the event got rolling.
There's the first of 2 laps. Athletes making the return trip to the competition floor. We'll wait for them to come around that corner. There's obviously a little bit of a blind spot here for us. We had to make some last-second changes to go from outside to inside, and when that happens, a whole bunch of equipment needs to be moved. And Haley Adams is in front of Grace Walton as they head back to the competition floor here to complete lap number 1. After they complete this second lap, it'll be the 3 rope climbs and then the 50-foot lunge with that 100-pound bag.
Approximately 240 for that first lap. We'll see how this compares into their second lap, of course. One of the big aspects that the runners want to make sure that they understand, if they don't see a potential limitation with this feedback across their body for the lunge, there's not going to be a tremendous amount of opportunity for people to make big moves outside of this run. So if you feel as though you're a strong runner, this is certainly where you want to make haste. This is really where you want to lean into your strength right now by creating separation, and it looks like Gracie Walton and Haley Adams are both leaning forward into that.
Each lap is going to count as 1 rep on the scoring ribbon on the left side of your screen. There's 24 total reps in this event. We'll explain the scoring as we go through it. Haley Adams and Grace Walton starting to separate from the pack. Emily Rolfe sits in 3rd place. Abby Domet, Maddie Sturt, Alexis Raptis, Elisa Fuliano, Paige Semenza, and Paige Rogers. And remember, they will return to their lanes, so this order could be skewed a bit.
We always see a bit of gamesmanship, Sean, when it comes to these longer events where athletes start to filter into packs, and it's a bit of a natural byproduct of course, where their fitness lies with the running. But Gracie Walton doing a great job being a shadow to Haley Adams, letting her dictate the pace, but not letting her get too far away. We'll see exactly if she can hold this pace that Haley's established, but it often sets up really well for those that can lie back just a little bit, conserve a touch of energy, and put them in a place where they can have contention towards the end. Emily Rolfe doing a similar thing.
Let's go, Haley. Let's go, Grace. Nice, Emily.
Second and final lap on this opening 1,300-meter run. Trail along with Paige Rogers. He's in 11th place overall. Started the competition with a 2nd place finish. And still Haley Adams followed by Grace Walton and Emily Rolfe.
And when Emily Rolfe is in this field, Sean, at the Rogue Invitational, it is rare to see her outside of the top 3 athletes in anything that goes over 30 minutes. So we've got to keep an eye out for her and the pace that she's establishing here. Settling in, getting her breathing and cadence under control because she knows she's going to go back out for that run 3 more times.
Emily Rolfe is going to be the first woman to the rope, followed by Walton and Adams. So 3 rope climbs here. These will count as 1 rep each on the scoreboard. And then the 50-foot lunge will be 2 total reps.
Standard here is athletes simply just have to make contact with the metal at the top. So they're looking to just make contact with the rig in any form. We talk about this being a really high emphasis point in our keys is the clamp and the descend. We want to clamp, minimize the effort needed on the way down by almost fully releasing the hands as the legs start to slide down. It's one of the most effective means of getting up and down that rope.
Emily Rolfe is now done with her opening 3 rope climbs, and she'll be the first of the 100-pound, 45-kilo bag, along with Alexis Raptis. Grace Walton, Elisa Fuliano, and Maddie Sturt, and Paige Semenza also on that bag. 1 rep down, 1 rep back, and then it's back out on that 1,300-meter run.
Now this feed bag weight not presenting a huge challenge for these women right now, but I'm going to tell you something, Sean. Delayed onset muscle soreness might be. Don't forget about the tax collector from just a little bit more than about 36 hours ago. They did 40 back squats with 225 pounds, and they're going to be feeling every one of those reps on each and every one of these lunge steps.
Well, Rolfe is done, and she'll take off on her second 1,300-meter run. Alexis Raptis is second, and it's Grace Walton in third, followed by Maddie Sturt.
Raptis chaser that, as well as Grace Walton. Here comes Haley Adams. So your new leader, Emily Rolfe.
One more look at the event description.
Raptis in second. Walton.
They're going to run this circuit 4 times. They'll close with a 1,300-meter run. This is the second of 4 runs. Emily Rolfe is in the lead. It's Paige Semenza on her first lap. It's Rogers and Domet behind them. Emily Rolfe, 18th place overall. Her best finish was in event 3. She took 5th place there. And you know she's been waiting for this longer event.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure she's been chomping at the bit, been hoping and praying like, oh, we're going to run, right? We're going to run, right? And for those unfamiliar, we are very incomplete in regards to the status of the overall fitness test that we're going to see here at the Rogue Invitational. Every time we get a new 100 points available and we take the floor for another event, it's just another piece of the puzzle for the overall desire of the testers, the ones that designed this test, and Josh Bridges and Chris Spieler. So every time we get a little bit more of a thorough understanding of how these women really stack up with one another.
First lap coming to a close for Emily Rolfe and Grace Walton as you take a look at Lisa Fuliano, who's in 15th place overall.
Rolfe looking relaxed. Really nice natural arm string, relaxed shoulders. Gracie Walton, similar cadence. You can see the hints to good runners just in their body language, their comfort in the discomfort. Other athletes tend to run a bit more stiff. You're gonna see more torso rotation from side to side. Both these women putting on a great display of what relaxed running can look like. Haley Adams doing the same thing there, just as a far shot in third.
Remember, they returned to their lane, so Rolfe has a bigger lead on Walton right now than it looks, because she is in the lane.
That's right.
Nearest to the entrance off of this course. Gilbert and Rogers. Lap number 2 here, the second of 4 runs. So Emily Rolfe is making her 4th appearance at the Rogue Invitational. She's never finished inside the top 10. Her best finish was last year when she took 12th overall.
You wonder how the order of operations here in regards to this running event, Sean, affects the field. Running on a little bit more global fatigue, the tired legs, the tired body. We're 3/4 of the way through the test, or 2/3, right? Does it make the runners that run well better than the field, or does it make them a little slower compared to the field? Does this, in fact, lend itself as an advantage to those that might have struggled with this run if it was the first event to kick off the weekend?
Well, you talked to a couple of athletes. We've seen them in passing here on P&J Live, and they all say the same thing. Yeah, I'm a little beat up. I'm tired.
Yep.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling it.
Yeah, which is completely expected when you're competing for something like to be the king or the queen of the Rogue Invitational. You're essentially saying, I want to be the fittest individual here. And that means this test is going to be thorough, and it's going to be tough, as it should.
I think the fans are having a lot of fun here, too, getting to go through Vendor Village. And this is a great venue. I mean, if you haven't had a chance to see the Rogue Invitational here these last 2 years, it's just a fantastic facility for this type of event. It's Paige Semenza.
Yet.
It's her 3rd career appearance at the Rogue Invitational. She was 13th last year. Former Ohio State University hockey player.
And here we are, Gracie Walton again using someone else ahead of her and just trying to be a mere shadow, Sean, over that shoulder. She was doing the same thing with Haley Adams earlier. Look at the smile on her face.
I was going to say, she's been smiling this entire time. I don't know how that's possible when you're running this much.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, fake it till you make it, of course, is really an attribute that you want to look for from a psychology perspective. If Gracie does struggle with running, this is a great tactic to keep her mind and body positive.
I don't know if you saw that, but Emily Rolfe, with her right hand, went into the waistband of her shorts and grabbed some. I think it's chalk.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Smart move to take care of that before you get to the rope.
Smart move. I mean, we saw through that first round, the way she navigated the 3 road climbs was a clear dictator on getting her that surge and lead into this round. So yes, again, another very privy vet move that helps her create separation from the field.
Second set of 3 rope climbs for Emily Rolfe. She has 1 set remaining after this.
And she's ready to work, man. Almost a full rep now ahead of Gracie.
Rolf on her second ascent.
Emily, one of the taller female athletes in the field. It also allows her to make a great 3 strong clamps on the way up this rope and be right where she needs to be to make quick contact and come on down. And there she goes.
And now to the 100-pound, 45-kilo bag, another 50-foot lunge. That will count for 2 reps. So at the 14-rep mark, Emily Rolf will be back out on her 3rd of 4 1,300-meter runs.
And great transition there. That was a really great shot to even put, I mean, they make these lunges look easy, Sean. Like I mentioned earlier, that feed bag is not light, and to watch the duress that put Emily under just to get it to that front rack position and jump into her back, it lets you know athletes cannot sleep on this portion of this event.
Alexis Raptis and Grace Walton are on to their lunges as well. Maddie Sturt is working to pick up the bag. She's on the far left side of your screen now in the pink top. And Rolf is making the return trip and starting to open up a lead here on the rest of the field. Round 2 is now done for Emily Rolf. She has 2 more runs remaining. Gracie Walton is starting to slow down a little bit. And now Emily Rolf, the only woman on the run. Alexis Raptis is going to be the next woman to join her, but she will be well behind Rolf as Raptis has dumped the bag and she's back out on her 3rd of 4 1,300-meter runs.
Wow, great move there by Alexis Raptis. I mean, that's all the work that's taking place here on the field that allowed her to come back into this position here. She had finished that last run just behind Haley Adams. So the rope climb, getting back into that lunge, and then, of course, pushing the second lap is what Alexis Raptis tends to be doing round in and round out thus far.
Grace Walton and Maddie Sturt are on the run. Haley Adams, bottom of your screen, on her 3rd of 4 runs. And it's Emily Rolf all by herself right now here in this opening heat. First of 3 events that these athletes will face today, 9 in total throughout the weekend.
Yeah, you'll notice even this will be some of the more labored breathing that she'll have to deal with as she settles into this run. Coming off of anything, when you go from rope climbs into lunges and then you try to settle back into a run, it's that initial first 200 to 300 meters that you've really got to force the urgency to your body. Being a good runner like Emily Rolf is, she knows if she remains disciplined, that her heart rate will settle and she'll get right back into the smoothness of her running cadence.
Working her way through Vendor Village. Here comes Haley Adams.
Haley Adams looking like she's leaving plenty in the tank, not showing much urgency here at all to make any kind of move or speed up in any way. Just settled into her running.
20th place overall. This is the 4th time she's been at the Rogue Invitational. Her career best finish was 5th place in 2021.
And for Haley, historically, these are one of those events where she's able to capitalize on a point surge. We'll see if she can do that with this combination of movements.
Paige Semenza and Abby Domet behind her on their 3rd 1,300-meter run. So we're only in the 3rd round. We're going to finish on a 1,300-meter run, but where do you decide to start pushing the pace here?
Yeah, well, I think much of the race has already been decided for those that are leading, of course. It's one of those things where, by and large, you settle into that second round of a round where or an event where there's only 3 opportunities to do the physical work on the field. The opportunities get fewer and fewer, Sean, for you to actually make moves, especially on someone like Emily Rolf, who's only going to get stronger because she's such a veteran that she actually knows the cadence she can keep. She started back further in the pack to kick this thing off intentionally to almost warm into this threshold pace.
Emily Rolf is way out in front here in the opening heat. There's Elisa Fuliano, who's towards the back of the pack.
And what we'll notice, Sean, is the race will evolve. You know, an athlete like Fuliano, for her, She's simply trying to finish this thing with a solid pace, yes, but she also knows there's not going to be a ton of opportunity versus this field to get high reward. So what's she going to do? She's going to conserve her energy and try to hold back some of her efforts for an opportunity perhaps later in the day in events 8 and 9.
Rolf is getting set to come back into the arena here. Pardon me, Vendor Village. She is all by herself. Alexis Raptis was the second woman out on the run. She is well behind Emily Rolf at this point. Raptis has actually had a pretty solid competition. She has 4 finishes of 10th or better. The problem is she also has a 17th and a 19th.
Yeah.
14th place overall with 290 points.
And Sean, I'll tell you what, it's the history with her. Physically, if we can get her in a healthy place where she has an opportunity to really have a strong buildup to the Rogue Invitational, that's where we're going to see her at her best. She has got unique skill sets when it comes to being upside down. She's got very high work capacity. If we can help her get healthy to load up against events like the tax collector and in that heavy deadlift last night, boy, she is going to do some miraculous things in an event like this. It's just in the buildup if she can be healthy to prepare.
Emily Rolf continues to dominate this opening heat. 35-minute time cap here. Once she gets back in the arena, it will be the final time that she has to go through the 3 rope climbs and the 50-foot lunge.
Emily Rolf, the Cyborg. I'm not sure if she officially has a nickname of any kind, but I'll tell you what, to watch her run and to also watch her have the discipline to not lose a stride round in and round out, to keep her pace the way that she does, it takes such focus and discipline. It's almost like it's just programmed into her.
And once again, going to the chalk before she gets to the rope. Rolf back into the arena. One final round of 3 rope climbs and a 50-foot lunge. And there's a very good chance he's going to get done with these rope climbs before Alexis Raptis even gets back inside the building here.
What's scary is I don't even know that this is the best running version of Emily Rolf we've seen, Sean. She was sharing that, and you guys will notice the tape on her calf. She had a bit of a calf strain coming into this whole event. Wasn't able to prepare the same way that she normally does, especially for an event like this, Granite City. Just after doing some double unders, had a bit of a strain. Not bad enough to keep her out. She's here throwing down and, of course, still dominating in fashion on this running event.
Well, here comes Alexis Raptis as Emily Rolf has 1 rope climb remaining. Alexis Raptis actually has worn the leader's jersey at the CrossFit Games before. So as you mentioned, just to get healthy, and the potential is absolutely there.
It's certainly there. And I mean, I think you even see it here, being able to pace off someone like Emily Rolf and being within a shot's distance. She's going to have an opportunity if she continues to do the work inside the field here as quickly as she has to even be able to close the gap if she's got the gas.
Well, Maddie Sturt and Grace Walton are back for their final round of rope climbs as Emily Rolf has that 100-pound sandbag on her back and 50-foot of lunging awaits her before she heads back out on her final 1,300-meter run.
And this is where Emily, in her mind, is like, okay, this is the time. This is where I've got to suck it up. This is where I've got to make my move. Emily came here to not just have a good showing in this first heat in an event like this. She wants to have a top time in Granite City against this entire field, and she knows all the other women are just going to watch exactly what her splits were, what she's doing, how she attacked it, and this is where she's got to lay it on the gas and sell her soul to this run.
And Rolf is done, and now she's going to just put it on cruise control on this final 1,300-meter run as Alexis Raptis is still on the first length of her 50-foot lunge. Now she's made the turn as Raptis, as Rolf exits the arena. Well, Maddie Sturt currently sits in 3rd, and it's Grace Walton in 4th. Now Paige Simmons is back in the building, working her way to the rig for her final set of 3 rope climbs. The Raptis is done, and she'll head out on the run. And Grace Walton making the return trip. She'll be on the right side of your screen in the pink.
Yeah,
Pardon me, that's Maddie Sturt.
And again, what I love about the placement of this event, Sean, is that there will be such disparity. There will be such up and down of the scoring because of the way the test has gone so far globally, the first 2 days looked very different than an event like this. And so there are going to be athletes in Heat 2 that have an opportunity to establish themselves very high on the leaderboard in the Granite City finishing, and they've got to stay urgent and be relentless on their pacing here. And here comes Sturt. Only a couple seconds now behind Alexis Raptis.
Emily Rolfe is just moving at the same pace throughout this entire event.
Oh yeah, we're getting a little community action here also, huh? A little bit of the community workout going down. Everybody's getting fitness here at the Rogue Invitational. Probably working out with some of the legends over there.
It's been fun. I've gotten a chance to go down there and check it out for a little bit. And they're doing a really nice job of keeping everybody entertained, giving the fans something to do here. The community workouts have been fantastic.
Did you get in some of the weighted cornholes, the question?
I did not. No, that was...
That's amazing.
There was a... So what Adrian's talking about is that you can see it in the... I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, but yeah, you can. On the left side there, in that little blank alley, they had the other night for the Legends Happy Hour, they had a weighted cornhole game. So it was like heavy bags that you had to toss onto the board.
Goes all the way up to 25 pounds, but there's a variety of weights out there for everybody.
It was fun. There's Grace Walton.
Now, Grace Walton was the one earlier who seemed to be drafting and holding a position right behind an athlete. And now what we're seeing now is Paige Reynolds doing the opposite to her, kind of coming right up on her heels. We know that now this is going to be that final outing for them on 2 consecutive laps to come back in for the finish. Paige Rogers, I'm sorry, my bad.
Everyone's still getting used to that.
Gosh.
I still want to say Paige Powers. Emily Rolfe is done with her first of 2 laps. They're on her final 1,300-meter run.
She confirmed with her judge. One more, right?
Yep. No big deal. All right, I guess I'll just knock this out and win the
That's right. One, I think this is where she's got to really fight psychologically, Sean, because she knows she's winning. She knows she's got this in the bag. She is. Which is kind of a nice thing to have her even there to chase, because it does help Rolfe lay on the gas, because she knows she's racing those future athletes that are about to take the floor in the next heat.
Little Steve Rogers on your left.
This is where you really rely on these hours of training and the miles you've accumulated for an athlete like Emily. Again, a lot of athletes might be in coast mode right now. She is far from it, fighting for every second here in Granite City, wrapping up what will be a total of about 5,200 meters for these athletes.
And Emily Rolfe needs these points. I mean, she's 18th place overall. Only has 1 finish inside the top 10. That was a 5th place in event 3. Alexis Raptis is still in 2nd place. She's making her way into Vendor Village. That's how far behind she is of Emily Rolfe.
And again, both of these women with an opportunity to punch themselves into the top 10 as the day goes on, and they want to do nothing more than that. Give themselves a chance to be in the final heat, to do the work. That's where you want to be. And this is where it does make it tough, Sean, too. You love the creativity of a course like this, because you can break away and hide yourself from those chasing you by just breaking quick around a corner. And I love that from a gamesmanship perspective.
Emily Rolfe has made a career of doing well at these longer running events at the Rogue Invitational. She's taken 3rd place in the last 2 events at the Invitational that had featured running. And she's just about done. She's going to make a left turn and head into the arena. And we'll get in well inside that 35-minute time cap.
Wow.
Emily Rolfe back into the arena here at P&J Live. And a final sprint to the finish. And Rolfe is going to win heat number 1 in convincing fashion. We'll have to wait for her official time, but it was right around 28 minutes. Now Alexis Raptis is getting set to finish up. Maddie Sturt behind her. .08.07 seconds officially for Emily Rolfe, as here comes Alexis Raptis to take second place in the heat, and she is in. 28:50.97. Maddie Sturt is going to finish in third. When we get some sprints to the finish, that getting over the top of that pad can be kind of interesting.
Man, I've got a history with sprints to the finish and long workouts, and I'm going to tell you, it's the last thing that you want to do. But yes, inevitably, we are going to see it. And I hope they got their hurdle legs ready for that final stretch.
It's Paige Rogers.
And just like we thought, man, she used that opportunity to be right over Gracie's back shoulder to pass her at just the right time.
Rogers makes the turn. Grace Walton's got a couple lanes to go, and now she'll head to the finish line. But Rogers is going to hold off Walton for fourth. And there is Gracie Walton, who I think set the record for longest smile during an event.
The whole time.
I don't think that expression on her face ever changed.
The whole time. Good for you. I mean, I believe that that's got to be something her team encouraged and her coach encouraged, and she did intentionally, that's for sure.
Haley Adams getting set to finish up.
Abby Doman making her way in.
Doman 17th place overall, looking for her first finish inside the top 10 of the competition. And Doman is in. 4 minutes to go before we hit the time cap. Here's Elisa Fuliano. Fuliano is going to head to the finish, which leaves Paige Semenza as the only athlete still out on the course.
Boy, Fuliano really leaned in, Sean, on her final round. I mean, it was like a very casual, almost jog for her the entire event. And then for her to pass Semenza and then be full send there at the end, that was a very different approach than what we saw from her early on.
And Paige Semenza to close things out here for heat number 1. And Semenza is in, and that'll do it for the opening heat of event 7, Granite City, presented by Mod Tub and Emily Rolfe. 28 minutes, 8.07 seconds to take the opening heat.
I like it. What an opportunity to set the mark, and she did just that. 28:08. Gonna be a tough time to beat, but there's several competitors in the back doing two things, Sean. Some are taking note on the splits they need to run in order to beat that time, and some are just like, oh no, how many of these competitors can I even slide between so that I don't end up on the back half of the bottom 5 here within this field of 20. It was a tight race early on. We saw it exchange a couple times on the first couple laps, but it was Emily Rolfe after round 1 that established the lead and was very consistent, even to the point of building speed on her runs all the way through the finish. She's got a strong history with the long events here at the Rogue Invitational. Steadily top 3. We'll see if a time of 28:08 will be enough to keep her at the top for this one.
Emily Rolfe by 42 seconds over Alexis Raptis. Maddie Sturt will finish in third, followed by Paige Rogers and Grace Walton. As we get set for the second and final heat. And if you're going to beat Emily Rolfe, good luck. You're going to have to really push that run, because I don't know where she gave up any time. It was from one movement to the next, no wasted time in transitions, not a lot of rest going on. That's going to be a tough time for the athletes in Heat 2 to track down.
Yeah, you put running in, you put rope climbs in a workout. I'm going to go ahead and guess this woman's going to be very successful at that combination.
Well, let's send it down to Kiki Dixon, who is with your Heat winner, Emily Rolfe.
Emily, you have such a strong showing with these type of events. You seem to get faster as you went. How?
I think I don't know, I can run. I don't know, I was a little bit worried. I've been dealing with a bit of a calf strain since the first event, so it's been a bit of a struggle this weekend, but that was a fun one to do.
Clearly, you were having fun out there. You had the winning strategy for this heat. What was it when you entered in, and were you able to maintain that?
I think just trying to be quick at the part in the stadium here, and then just trying to pick people off and, yeah, on the run.
I think you were quick throughout the whole entire thing. This is a longer event. We have 2 more events to go. What are your thoughts on those?
I'm excited. I like today's events.
All right, we look forward to seeing you back out here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Big step.
Emily Rolfe looking for her best finish of the competition and puts up an impressive time in Granite City, 28 minutes, 8.07 seconds. We'll take a quick break. When we return. Second and final heat at Granite City here from the 2025 Rogue Invitational. We are set for the second and final heat, and here's where we stand coming into day number 2. Laura Horvath is starting to separate herself from the field. She has a 40-point lead over second place Alex Gazan. Danny Spiegel is still in third place by 5 points over Olivia Kerstetter, and Ariel Lowen is 35 points out of a podium spot. Danielle Brandon has got some work to do and needs some help if she wants to get herself into striking distance of one of the top 3 spots. It's Granite City presented by Mod Tub, and we're going to kick off with a 1,300-meter run. We got some rope climbs in there, and then a 50-foot feed sack lunge at 100 pounds.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, we learned something from that first heat, Sean, is that the first round or 2 doesn't matter much. They got to establish a smooth cadence as they go.
And what's at stake here as you take a look at Laura Horvath looking to win her 3rd Rogue Invitational championship?
Well, I'll tell you what. The field has to find a way to close the gap on this woman. They are going to have to take advantage fully of this running and the mileage here, because she's not going to be slow at anything on the field. And then for a lot of these athletes in the field, it's going to be about damage control. We've got a couple in Olivia Kerstetter and Danny Spiegel that have not the best history with long events that include running. What can they do to minimize the damage to where they're at on the leaderboard right now? Because there's several women who are eyeing this event as an opportunity to knock them off the position they're in right now.
And Danny Spiegel and Olivia Kerstetter separated by just 5 points on the leaderboard that we just showed you. And as you mentioned, Adrian, neither one of them have a history of doing well in these longer events at the Rogue Invitational. And Laura Horvath is working her way up to the front. Now remember, they will return to their lanes. So the order in which they're running right now may not be indicative of who's leading on this run.
Yeah, and I've seen Laura approach running events here at Rogue differently almost every year. We've seen her start with a strong lead, Sean, in events like with the weighted run in 23. We've seen her try to start fast, even with the different implements last year. Right now, she seems to be okay with settling behind Danielle as she establishes the pace and not looking to push it too much, which I think could be wise. We got to keep our eyes on Emma Lawson. We know that she can have a strong outing as a runner as well.
It bears repeating that there was going to be an outside run in this event. And Aberdeen, Scotland is on the same latitude as Juneau, Alaska. So not only is it a little chilly outside, it's also a little slick. They decided to move the run inside. And that's why we're doing 2 trips around this circuit here at P&J Live, for a total of 1,300 meters.
Yeah, you gotta love it, man. A good contingency plan in order to protect the product here. It's like you gotta keep the playing field as even as possible. And it can be sunny 1 minute and then a nasty storm 10 minutes later here.
Well, we've walked over every morning here from the hotel over to the venue, and it is rather slick out there on that concrete. And I love this. I think it's great. Rogue has made these adjustments in the past. You think when we were at Del Diamond in Round Rock, Texas, moving some of the events onto the concourse and how cool that wound up being. So,
literally one of the coolest experiences I can recall. The final with the crowd surrounding everybody in that concourse. It was just insane.
First lap is done on this opening 1,300-meter run. Emily Rolfe again as the top time. That's in the upper right-hand part of your screen. It's Emma Lawson, Danielle Brandon, Laura Horvath, and Lucy Campbell. As Horvath is now passing Danielle Brandon. And it's Brooke Wells, followed by Olivia Kerstetter, Ariel Lowen, Alex Gazan, Manon Anganese, and Danny Spiegel.
Again, we talk about closing the gap. We consider someone like Alex Gazan. We talk about someone minimizing damage and controlling the control. It's Danny Spiegel right there.
And there is Alex Gazan, second place overall with 485 points. She's 40 back of Laura Horvath. And as you mentioned, at the top of this heat, Gazan has got to start chipping away at that lead.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be hard for her in this event, Sean. Her history is that she's just outside of mid-pack position typically on longer workouts that involve a run, at least here at Rogue. A 12th and a 13th place historically with events that are going to accumulate 5K or more on the legs. And so how has that adapted? How has even her recovery from her accident with her lower leg, has she been able to put in the mileage? Has she been able to prepare in the same way? We certainly have seen it as no limitation thus far in her performance. We'll get a chance to see that here in Granite City.
Brooke Wells and Olivia Kerstetter. Wells, of course, announcing her retirement earlier this year. She's been having a really good competition so far. She
really has.
Got 4 finishes of 8th or better. The problem is she also has 2 18th place finishes, but she's coming off a 2nd place finish last night. Emma Lawson in front of Laura Horvath and Lucy Campbell as they make the return trip inside the arena here at P&J Live, and then we'll see who is actually in the lead.
And the way this heat is playing out thus far, I mean, it's such a tight race. Once we get into the field of play and we start to see how things look on the rope, and out of this first round of sandbag lunges, or feedbag lunges, I'm sorry, we're going to have a great idea of how we'll really start to create some separation amongst this field.
Emma Lawson, 7th place overall with 355 points. And these are the women who are in the lead right now. And as you mentioned, for Danny Spiegel and Olivia Kerstetter, just minimize the damage here. For Alex Gazan, she's got to start shaving some points off that 40-point deficit here with only 3 events remaining.
Yeah, and I think this is an opportunity for a young Olivia Kerstetter here to really prove that she's been developing as an athlete in her weak areas. We know she's going to have her home runs, and we know where she settles amongst some of the fittest on earth in certain measures. But this will be a great opportunity for her to put on a showcase of putting in some time and effort to develop overall.
Emma Lawson, Lucy Campbell, and Laura Horvath were the first 3 women to the rope. Danielle Brandon was right behind them. And here's Ariel Lowen in the green pants on the right side of your screen. Now, Lowen is a woman here in this event who can gain some ground. She's in 5th place overall, and the 2 women in front of her are Kerstetter and Spiegel. Lowen is 35 points out of 3rd place. Now, Horvath is the first woman done with her 3 rope climbs. Now onto the feed bag for the 50-foot lunge.
Now, we talked about this a little bit, that feed bag, even in the first heat, you can't ignore the transition to it. You have to have a strategy with how you plan to shoulder this thing and get it there. Otherwise, you lose precious seconds, and that really makes your efforts with running minimized, because you can sacrifice a lot of effort just to get a 5 to 7 second lead on someone on a run and lose it all on the rope or with this feed bag.
Horvath making the turn. And she is done, and Danny Spiegel, to keep an eye on her, is currently in last place in the heat. There's Alex Kazan just starting her 50-foot lunge, and Horvath followed by Emma Lawson and Lucy Campbell. Your top 3. And Danielle Brandon is in a distant 4th. She's almost done with her lunge. And right now, your top 3 in this heat are ahead of Emily Rolfe's time. Rolfe was done with the first round at 7:10 on the clock.
Horvath with about a 4-second lead right now on Emma Lawson. Lawson looking to close that gap a little bit. All 3 of these women looking tremendously relaxed right now, very confident in the pace that they've settled into here.
Olivia Kerstetter is just now starting her 2nd run as you take a look at Horvath and Emma Lawson. Lucy Campbell behind them. Danny Spiegel just made the turn on her first lunge. So this is a huge opportunity for Ariel Lowen and Danielle Brandon.
Yep. This is also where I think Laura Horvath has an advantage, knowing the work that awaits them at this field of play here with the rope climbs and the feed bag, is that she really has a tremendous trust in herself on the things that she's good at. She's great at climbing the rope, and she's great at work capacity with a bag of any sort. So if she can just keep Emma Lawson here within reach, she's going to always have that opportunity to make a move on her in the stadium.
Laura Horvath has every finish inside the top 7, and she's won 2 of the last 3 events.
Now, Sean, if I'm Emma leading this as well, in the back of my mind, I also know who's chasing me. And in my mind, not necessarily on this round, but as I exit the field of play on the next round, I've got to start to try to create a bit of separation there between me and Laura. Otherwise, I know what she may be willing to do, as it seems like Emma Lawson might be opening up a little bit here.
Emma Lawson's best finish of the competition was in the opening event. She took 4th place overall. Looking to improve on that here. And again, she is slightly ahead of the pace set by Emily Rolfe in heat number 1. Laura Horvath really does not need to be concerned with Lawson. She just needs to keep Alex Kazan in the rearview mirror. And there's Danny Spiegel, who's in last place. Now, Spiegel came in 3rd place, 440 points.
And this is where a lot of those times, of course, throughout the rest of that first heat are going to play a huge role in the outcome for Danny. Can she stay within reach of the podium after this event is going to be a big, big question.
Yeah, and keep in mind, everybody in heat number 1 got in inside that 35-minute time cap. Horvath and Campbell closing out their first lap. Into lap number 2 here. 2nd of 4 1,300-meter runs that they'll have to complete.
Lucy making a quick move there on Laura on the inside. Laura letting her do her thing. I think it's important from a veteran perspective here for Laura to remain composed early, not push her threshold too soon.
Lucy Campbell currently 9th place overall, had back-to-back 3rd place finishes in events 3 and 4. and excited to be competing here in Scotland. Her father is from here.
Yeah. Getting to compete closer to home always feels great. You gotta love it. I mean, I wonder how many of these fans have foregone to come be in their seat just to be closer to these competitors while they're running, man. That's a cool experience for them.
Emma Lawson continues to lead the way here in the second of 2 heats, trying to track down Emily Rolfe's top time in the upper right-hand part of your screen.
Well, she's doing what we talked about, trying to break the rope a little bit, if you will. Create a gap on these competitors so that when she gets in the field of play, then she's going to get to see them to the left and to the right. She's going to get a really good gauge on where they are and how far they are away, and then she can dictate the pace from there. She can really be in the driver's seat if she keeps this pace.
Lawson looking extremely composed here. She closes out her second 1,300-meter run. After this, it'll be that second round of rope climbs and lunges. Lawson back into the arena here at P&J Live. Second of 3 sets of the rope here for Lawson.
And this is where you have to be disciplined. We talk about the ability to climb the rope, clamp, and fall. And she has done it to the best of the best right there. Clean clamps with her feet, no wasted time, no slippage of the shoe. And then she's gonna stand through her third grasp here, let go, and slide right down that rope.
And Lucy Campbell on the far right side of your screen is on her first ascent. Here comes Laura Horvath, working her way up the rope for the first time. Final rope climb for Emma Lawson. Now Lawson will make her way to the 100-pound, 45-kilo feed bag for a second 50-foot lunge. 1 rep per length on this portion of the event.
Great strategy there by Emma, turning it lengthwise in order to get it to her shoulder, then flop it right over. Doesn't have to worry about the clean in that front rack position with the feed bag.
Laura Horvath has moved past Lucy Campbell for second place. Danielle Brandon is also on her rope climb, so she sits in 4th place right now in the heat. Brooke Wells is back inside the building. Lawson has made the turn on the lunge.
Again, this is the advantage to when we're on the field of play, is that you get more of a sense to where the competitors are. And of course, for Laura Horvath, this is where she was able to make a move again right here on Lucy Campbell.
And Lawson is done with round 2, and she is still ahead of Emily Rolfe's pace. A good maybe 30 seconds on Rolfe at this point. As Horvath and Campbell are now done with the lunge. Lucy Campbell able to make up some ground on Horvath there on that portion of the event, as they are both now on their third of 4 1,300-meter runs. Danielle Brandon is just starting her lunge, so this is going to be good for Brandon. Brandon in 6th place overall with 355 points. Trying to creep closer to the top 5. She trails Ariel Lowen by 50.
Laura's history here with these longer events, Sean, bodes very well for her. A 4th, and a 9th. Clearly all top 10 finishes, more in the top 5 than just in the top 10. This is where she has an opportunity to really dictate the outcome of this competition and pull further away from those in threat of her #1 position.
Laura Horvath, one of 2 women to win the Rogue Invitational. The other is Tia Toomey. Toomey's won it 4 times. Horvath's won it twice. Looking for her 3rd championship here in 2025.
Cool competition going back and forth between Laura and Lucy, as we saw them throw down back in Miami at Wodapalooza early this year. And Lucy one-upped her. Lucy came out and really made a statement for her competitive season by taking the crown there at Wodapalooza, Miami. And I think it put a lot of people on notice and shocked the world. She proved throughout the course of the year that she's here and here to stay, wants to compete at a high level, returning from injury. And she's doing it now. I love it in her character that she wants to attack these women who are at the top of our sport. Some people lean away from that type of challenge, and she certainly has leaned in fully. And it's been very enjoyable to watch.
Well, meanwhile, Dani Spiegel is just starting her round of rope climbs, her second round here. And this is why this is big. Third place overall with 440 points. Probably going to fall out of that top 3 after this event.
Damage control is what's at stake here for Spiegel. And she's got to know that. She's got to keep that urgency even though she's fallen off from behind.
And for Laura Horvath, she's just looking to widen her lead atop the leaderboard. She's got a 40-point cushion on Alex Kazan, and if this stays the way it is, which is looking like it will, that lead's going to get bigger.
Lucy doing a great job with those short strides, fast cadence. If you put a good runner's feet on a metronome, Sean, you want it to be a faster cadence than you do a longer stride length. It's going to help reduce overall fatigue and help them keep a faster pace with less of a cost on getting their heart rate up and getting more fatigue. So typically as we watch, even we watch Lemma and Lucy both run, they're going to have a faster stride cadence. Watch those feet hit the ground quickly.
First of 2 laps done for Lawson and Horvath, and Dani Spiegel is now just closing out her lunge. Olivia Kerstetter, who sits in 4th, and Ariel Lowen, who are in 5th place, looking to move up the overall standings. They are both ahead of Spiegel right now.
Yeah, when you consider being only 1 of 2 to win the Rogue Invitational like Laura, Sean, there's a mentality and a maturity that comes with that. And we know that this sport is a bit of a war of attrition, meaning that durability and your mindset on where do you give your all, where do you go full send, how do you manage the outcome, not just of 1 event, but of 3 events here on a really big day to finish. She knows she's playing with house money with a lead, and she sees those in front of her in Emma Lawson and Lucy Campbell, and she just needs to stay a particular distance from them without creating too much stress on her body. She's trying to think ahead too.
The main thing for Laura Horvath, even though she's not winning this heat, is that she is well ahead of Alex Kazan.
And that's one of the big things, I think, within the first 2 rounds. Once she really understood where Kazan might settle back into, she was like, okay, now I know what I need to do in order to be where I want to be.
There's your leader in the heat, Emma Lawson, who is ahead of Emily Rolfe's pace from heat number 1. Rolfe's top time in the upper right-hand part of your screen is Lawson is on the final leg here of her 3rd 1,300-meter run. She'll have 3 rope climbs, another lunge, and then a final 1,300-meter run to close out the event after this. I mentioned Alex Kazan, who sits in 2nd place. She's well back of Laura Horvath on this run and running out of time to try to reel in the 2-time champ.
Yeah, and that's what's at stake for Alex here, is that she's going to run out of time and opportunity to close the gap on Laura. What's at stake for her is to close that gap now, and that's what she really wants to put her best foot forward to be able to do. She's got to find a way to minimize the placings between her and Laura Horvath.
It's a 40-point deficit for Kazan right now. As Emma Lawson and Lucy Campbell are back to the rope.
Emma finishing her 2nd rope climb of 3.
Lawson is really duplicating kind of the modus operandi of Emily Rolfe. I mean, not a lot of rest between sets, getting right to work on each implement, not wasting a lot of time in transitions. And now Laura Horvath is back inside the arena, and she'll start her 3rd and final set of 3 rope climbs. Lawson hoists up that 100-pound, 50-kilo bag, or 45-kilo bag, 50-foot lunge here. and then a final run.
Yeah, she's got to get that feedback where she wants it, though. Lucy Campbell's now wrapping up her final and third rope climb here. She's going to be making a move to try to close that gap on Emma.
Emma Lawson can win this event. She can find herself inside the top 5.
And we're gonna get a good race between these two, Sean. I've got a feeling. I mean, Lucy Campbell, when she smells blood in the water, that's an opportunity for her, and she thrives in those scenarios. Emma's gonna be out in front, a little bit of a disadvantage, blind to where Lucy is, and Lucy's gonna be looking to make a move.
And Lawson continues to stay ahead, well ahead of Emily Rolfe's pace from Heat 1. Rolfe was finished with her.
Here we go.
Final set of lunges at the 22:12 mark. And Campbell now trying to chase down Emma Lawson. Laura Horvath is all by herself on the lunge. She's winning the battle as far as the top of the leaderboard is concerned. Danielle Brandon is on her rope climb, sits in 4th place in the heat. Brooke Wells. Now Alex Kazan has made her return trip to the rope. And Lucy Campbell trying to put some pressure on Emma Lawson.
This is where you talk about a little bit of stress on your mind, Sean, is now when do you lay it down? The question gets ever more important for Emma Lawson. If she wants to have an event win here, it is when can I break this rope? If I start to pull away too soon and I slow down, that's gonna open the door for Lucy. But if I do it too late and Lucy closes the gap, we're gonna be in a sprint finish and no one wants that.
Yeah, Lawson looking over her right shoulder, because if you could hear the crowd getting behind Lucy Campbell. And they are in lanes right next to each other. So Campbell does not need to put a lot of distance between herself and Lawson. In fact, if she just stays even with her, she'll essentially be ahead because Campbell's lane is on the outside.
And you got to think that Emma Lawson also has that in the back of her mind. She knows that there's got to be a little bit more of a buffer than just a tied run coming back into the field of play.
Well, back inside, Brooke Wells is on the lunge along with Alex Kazan and Olivia Kersetter. As you see, Ariel Lowen heading to the lunge. Kersetter, who sits in 4th place overall, is on her 3rd and final set of rope climbs.
Olivia Kerstetter, one of those athletes we were looking to minimize the crash here of potential points because of this being a damage control workout for her. Not having a strong showing on longer events, especially with a lot of mileage on the legs. It's an opportunity for her to show growth and test her growth and capacity when it comes to her overall fitness.
Meanwhile, Alex Kazan is back out onto the run for the final time. Kersetter has 2 event wins so far in this competition. She won event 3 and event 6. Now, Lucy Campbell looks like she's gaining slightly on Emma Lawson here at the final portions of lap number 1 of 2. Lawson back into the arena.
Emma looks very composed, Sean. I mean, I haven't seen a change in her posture, in the face she's making, in her stride cadence. She looks to be in complete control right now. Campbell looking a bit more labored, as you can see it across her face, but still, it's the eye of the tiger as she looks ahead to Emma Lawson, just wanting nothing more than to close the gap. It seems like she's gonna have to make that move sometime just before within Vendor Village, or it's gonna be too late.
It's a 7-second lead between Lawson and Campbell. You saw Ariel Lowen, she's out on the run for the first time, so Lawson looking to lap her. Top 4 times from the first heat, bottom right-hand part of your screen. Both Lawson and Campbell are in contention for the top 2 times here in the event. See if Lawson takes another look behind her when she makes this turn. There it is, trying to see where Campbell is.
Wow, she's now lapping Ariel Lowen.
Lucy Campbell being cheered on by the crowd.
This is where it's really got to start to kick in if it's going to be in there. Lawson, by means of how she's moving and running, she still will have more of a kick in reserve. And right now, I think she might be pulling away from Lucy Campbell.
It's about the same lead that they had when they got on the run. And if Lucy can just get even with Lawson, Lucy's going to make the turn first because her lane is lane number 10. Lawson is in lane 9. Lawson on her way back towards the arena here at P&J Live. And Lucy Campbell's running out of time here.
Yeah, and I spoke with her coach, Matt Torres, last night, Sean, and they were very excited and looking forward to hopefully some type of run today. And their prayers were answered with the programmed work here in Granite City, and she is certainly capitalizing on an opportunity here.
So Emma Lawson, a few seconds away from an event win. Lawson makes the turn. She'll head to the finish line. And Emma Lawson is going to pick up her first event win of the 2025 Rogue Invitational, smashing Emily Rolfe's time. Lucy Campbell coming across the finish line. She's going to take second place in the event. That's her best finish of the competition. 27:33.06 seconds. And Laura Horvath is currently in third, followed by Danielle Brandon. So this is going to be big for Brandon. So Emily Rolfe is looking like she's going to finish third again in a running event. Fourth place very much up for grabs, as the second best time after Rolfe is Alexis Raptis at 28:50.
Yep, and fourth is a familiar place for Laura Horvath here for these long events. Fourth and fourth in the last two long events here at the Rogue Invitational for Ms. Horvath.
She's got 30 seconds. Shouldn't be a problem. But the big thing for Laura Horvath is that she is well ahead of Alex Kazan. So that lead is going to get even bigger. She came in with a 40-point cushion, and she's going to leave with a larger margin with 2 events remaining. So Laura Horvath, with 10 seconds to go for fourth place. And Horvath's going to make it, 28:47.49 seconds. Fourth place finish for the 2-time Rogue Invitational champion, and 1 step closer to making it 3. Here comes Danielle Brandon. This is going to be big for Brandon. Because she came in 6th place overall with 355 points, and she's well ahead of Lowen, Kerstetter, Spiegel, and Gazan. Going to pick up points on all the women ahead of her. Danielle Brandon to the finish line. She is in. 29:30.07 seconds for Brandon. Alex Kazan and Brooke Wells getting set to come back into the arena. Ariel Lowen is behind them. Alex Kazan, coming off that injury that she suffered in June, a career-threatening injury, and here she is at the Rogue Invitational, finishing 5th place in the heat. And now it's Lowen and Wells in a foot race, and it's going to be Lowen who wins that. Half a second between Lowen and Wells.
Hey, the people love it. The people love it. Sits up immediately and gives her daughter a shout out. Hi, Blakely.
Well, now Lowen was only 35 points back as Spiegel for 3rd. And Spiegel is still out on the run course here. There's Olivia Kerstetter, who's trying to minimize the damage, stay inside the top 5. Manon Anganez is behind her. That's where the leaderboard was heading into this event. Olivia Kerstetter with 435 points. Kazan has already finished, so she's going to tighten her grip on second place overall.
And this is a place that Danielle Brandon, Emma Lawson are all eyeing opportunities to climb to, closer to the podium.
And Kerstetter is in. Manon Anganez has made the turn to the finish. That leaves Danny Spiegel still out on the course.
Athlete currently sitting in third place.
And I think this is her first lap. So Spiegel is in danger of falling out of the top 5. Currently in third place overall with 440 points. And keep in mind that everybody in heat number 1 finished inside the 35-minute time cap. So this could be a last place finish for Spiegel. She still has another lap to go.
And this is one of those things, Sean, where you think about, again, this is a global test of fitness. We are only 7 events in. You can't get too high and you can't get too low emotionally on where you're currently sitting and what you have yet to do, because pieces of the puzzle have yet to be filled. This is one that is an integral part for Danny Spiegel. This is a weakness of hers, the mileage on the legs, the longer event. She's had an opportunity to shine through the first 2 days, and now we get to see something that she's trying to have growth in from an overall fitness perspective. All athletes can learn from this as a lesson. The test has to be complete. It's very different than a football or basketball game where you see a first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and it's always much of the same. Momentum can be built. We start and we restart, and we stop every event, and there's a new opportunity for 100 points.
Danny Spiegel is in danger of getting time capped here.
There's a sentiment, Sean, too, to say that Danny Spiegel could obviously be out there walking right now to try to conserve some energy.
I was just going to say that. I think she's already in last place.
Yeah.
You respect the competitor in her wanting to finish here, but at this point, the last is last.
That's right. But there's a bit of this, and I feel like this is where the heart of the competitor comes out, and also the heart of the CrossFit community is being reflected here to a degree. Like we try to be and really strongly lean into a no-nonsense, never give up community. It's really what built and a reason a lot of us were attracted to the methodology in itself and to training in our garages and to training in our affiliates is because we really like to see what we're made of. And I appreciate Danny not just throwing in the towel and being like, ah, man, I'm going to save my legs for an opportunity to shine later. Keep grinding, keep persevering, and of course, do the work. It's one of those things where she almost owes it to the rest of the field also to see it all the way through that time cap.
Final 10 seconds for Danny Spiegel. And that is it. Spiegel looks like she's going to finish up.
Here comes Curtis.
Yeah.
Letting her know that you can shut it down.
She got word.
She got word.
So Danny Spiegel is going to fall out of the top 3. Kerstetter, Lowen, and Brandon are trying to work their way up the overall standings. And we know that Laura Horvath lead is going to increase as she heads into the final 2 events. And Emma Lawson is going to pick up the event win, 27 minutes, 20.98 seconds. Her first victory here at the 2024